Introducing Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa with bright citrus, real red jalapenos, guajillo chiles. Usually, you add sauce to the food, but when the sauce is this good, the food is just there to get the sauce to your mouth. That rolled quesadilla, not a rolled quesadilla anymore. Now it's a sauce shovel. Taco Bell's jalapeno citrus salsa. Get it with any item on the Cantina chicken menu while it's here. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for availability.
You survived the Miami weekend, nailed the speech, and maxed out your credit card in the name of friendship. Now you've got one hangover, 4 pastel dresses, and 0 reasons to wear them again. Sell them on Depop. Just snap a few photos, and we'll take care of the rest. And you at least get some of your dignity, money back. Someone on Depop wants what you've got. Start selling now. Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
Well, hello there. It is time for your favorite guilty pleasure. I'm talking about the Melanin Mayhem Podcast, hosted by your favorite country girl, Renee Davis. Oh, my Lord, honey, if today is your first time joining me in for the Mayhem, welcome, darling. Let me tell you what you've gotten yourself into today. You see, my little podcast, I am going to bring you the stories of some of the most heinous, I'm talking diabolical and downright audacious crimes committed by some real bad melanated baddies, baby. I'm talking about of the prolific variety, baby. We talking serial shenanigans over here, baby. Oh, honey, and you may have heard about some of these stories, maybe caught a headline or two, but baby, I can promise you this, you have not heard the story the way your girl is gonna tell it, honey, because you see, I am out here a one-woman band on a mission to dispel this pervasive myth in our community that there are certain types of crimes that Black people just don't commit. Ooh, honey, that's one of the biggest lies I've ever heard, honey, right there next to let me just put the head in. Baby, let me tell you something. We've been out here doing these serial shenanigans way back when and up till now, baby. It's still going on. So that's why I'm here, to spread the word, honey, so you know what I know. And we all know that it's going down. So go ahead, make yourself comfortable, and listen to what your girl got today. But before we get into that, honey, I got to do a little public display of affection with my boo things. I'm talking about the Newer Nation. Hey, babies. Ooh, I have missed y'all. I don't know if you can tell it. I have picked up a little something. We got the World Cup going on in Atlanta. And while I have not been able to take part of the festivities, mostly because it has been raining, I'm talking 40 days, 40 nights type shit. What is going on? It is supposed to be hot as the hinges of hell right now in the ATL. Baby, I feel like I might be, what is that, Seattle? I don't know what it is. When I tell y'all it is so lush and so green right now, my grass thriving. Ooh, but baby, I want the sun. And I know I'm going to regret saying that when it is hot as the hinges of hell. But right now, I need to go get me a boat. Baby, it is raining something serious. But I got to tell you, this FIFA World Cup stuff, Newer Nation, are y'all taking part in this? I am loving all of the social media posts and the videos of our visitors from overseas experiencing American culture up close and personal. When I tell you, it has warmed my heart. Y'all, it's about, let me see, 1:36 in the morning, and I should have been recorded this episode, but I have been scrolling, and when I say scrolling, I'm talking about going from Twitter or X to Threads to Facebook, just looking at all of these posts because, these videos, they warm my heart. If you believe what the news say, everybody just at each other's throat. But baby, let me tell you how the Waffle House will make everything better. Baby, let me tell you something. I know I got some foreigners, people that are not from America that listen to this podcast. We have much better places for you to eat than the Waffle House. Let me tell you something. Raising Cane's, that's not it. But I am so glad that y'all are loving the things that we do over here and that we take for granted. Although I'm with y'all, Buc-ee's is that shit. I'll go out my way if I see a Buc-ee's on the interstate. I like that too. But yeah, New Orleans Nation, your girl is a little under the weather. I don't know what I have picked up, some type of little cough. I cannot stop coughing. So I'm going to try to make it through this episode as best I can. I got my hot tea here with honey, because it's going down. Let's see. What do we have today for church announcements? Ooh, the countdown is for sure on. Ooh, Essence, here I come. I'm so excited about this trip, y'all. I know I love New Orleans just because I'm going to eat my way through as much as possible, but New Orleans is just a vibe. And baby, I can't wait to vibe with the peoples. I'm looking forward to this interview that I'm doing with Griot's Nest. Is it Griot or Griot? Y'all know I'm country. I can't wait for Kim to tell me exactly how to pronounce it the way she wants it pronounced. But it's Griot, Griot, Griot's Nest. Yeah, we're going to do a little something, and I will be sharing more information on that, as well as making sure that y'all got all the details on where to listen for that interview. What else we got going on besides Essence? I'm still trying to figure out what we're going to do for some summertime activities. Y'all let me know in the comments. What you thinking? What we need to do? We need to get a game night, something going on online. Y'all willing to come out to Atlanta? Y'all want me to come to your city? Let me know what you want the country girl to do, because it's well past time for us to do something out here, right? Other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe, especially over there on that Spotify side. Y'all know the Spotify mafia be on my neck. Please and thank you, as well as on the social media pages. Oh, don't forget, we have a private social media group on Facebook. It's the Melanin Mayhem Podcast discussion group. Don't forget about that. Don't sleep on it. We be over there doing what we need to do, although I need to tighten up. I told y'all I need to find me somebody to handle my social media because, Lord, it's just not enough hours in the day. But I'm going to make it do what it do, baby. Please believe I'm going to make it do what it do. Other than that, the Melanin Mayhem original story series. Ooh, my word, honey. That thing there is popping. It has been one of my greatest joys to come up with these stories. I appreciate the feedback and the love and the woo-wees and all of this, that, and the third. I really do, because, baby, I be sitting up in this thing coming up with some stuff, and it just comes to me. I be all out in the streets, and I see something, and inspiration will hit me, and I got my phone out, and I'm jotting down stuff, and I don't know if this is an ending or a foundational story or whatever the case may be, but I got a whole bunch of stories ready just to get out of this big old brain of mine. But y'all will see it in the weeks to come. And I keep hearing y'all talking about y'all want all these endings at once. Ooh, honey, y'all trying to kill the country girl, ain't you? No, sir, not today. What else do we have? I really think that's it for church announcements for today. Let's go on ahead and talk about this Hill story, because we know that is the reason for the streaming every Wednesday and every day after that. Honey, today... It started off as a story that I was going one way with, and then it ended up branching off into something else. And so today, I'm kind of bringing you a solo duo type of situation. I'm thinking that this is just like the crash out special, because the shit that went on with these shenanigans with these people I'm about to tell you about today, it just don't make no sense. Like, if I was coming up with a story for the Melanin Mayhem original story series, I don't even think I could have thought this shit up for that, because what the fuck? I mean, that's literally, I'm trying to figure out if that's what I'm gonna make the title of this episode, what the fuck, because what in the entire fuck? Y'all, crash outs happen. Sure, we know that. But when you have somebody who is delusional and they crashing out, baby, that's a special kind of special. And that's what we got today. Oh, special kind of special. Because the little young boy, well, he ain't young now when he was doing all this shit. The little young boy that I'm going to tell y'all about today to start with, it just don't make no sense. You ain't going to even believe it. I know I say that all the time when I do these stories, that y'all ain't going to believe this. But I promise you, today, You ain't gonna believe this shit. You gonna swear I'm making it up, but you know the country girl come with the receipts, baby. You can fact check anything I tell you, baby. I might stretch it a little bit to make it a little more dynamic, but baby, the bones, oh, that shit is for real. So, let me tell you. I don't know if I need to tease this out anymore because we just really need to get on into this. So without further ado, drag into the front of the congregation our first subject for this week, because remember, it's going to be a two-parter. So for the start of the story, I'm bringing to the front of the congregation this week's Melanin Mayhem maker. His name is Quincy Allen.
Ever wonder where Tropicana got its name? The tropics. And every time you enjoy a glass, you're not just drinking juice, you're taking a trip. Stepping into sunshine and embarking on a flavorful journey into the tropics where ripe fruit is crafted into wildly delicious juice. And the best part? No passport required. Tropicana. Give life some juice.
This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
All right, New Orleans Nation, let us get into the shenanigans of it all. Quincy Allen was born November 7th, 1979. Now, I don't have a lot of background information on his parents. I know that it was some bullshit. Like, while I don't know his mama's name, I know by some shenanigans that her ass was on. Tell me why they say his mama started kicking him out the house when he was like in the 4th grade. 4th grade? That is a child. Ooh, you was trifling, honey. Now, I'm not saying that this excuses his behavior that will come in the future, but that's fucked up. A 4th grader? What is that? Like 9, 8 in the 4th grade, and you putting them out the house? Girl, stop. So and it's crazy, I found that out in his prison record. They keep very detailed records in South Carolina. Go ahead, South Carolina, I see you, honey. Come to find out that Quincy either was sent or volunteered himself to go to psychiatric hospitals about 7 times in the 5 years leading up to the shenanigans we about to talk about. He was out here threatening to kill himself. One time he was going to kill himself and he was going to jump off the roof. And, you know, when people want to unalive themselves, that's a very serious thing, right? We take that seriously. And so the police, they're concerned. They don't want him to do anything to harm himself. So they call his mother. Miss Quincy's mama, can you come up here and see about your son? He say he going to kill himself. She like, whatever. All right, I'll be there. This woman comes hours later. No sense of urgency. Honey, you still here? Okay. They say that bitch walked up on the scene, started laughing at her son, and then walked the fuck away. Good. Again, I am not excusing anything that I'm about to tell you that Quincy's punk ass did, because he got into some bullshit. But I'm just saying, when your mama sitting here laughing at you and you talking about killing yourself, man, that's... Ooh, honey, you ain't gonna never be a candidate for Mother of the Year. Ever, baby. Just laughing and then you gonna walk off. I got shit to do. Boy, stop. So yeah, look, Quincy, life was kind of downhill from there. He would end up going to the feds I wonder why he went to the feds instead of state prison. But he ended up going into federal prison somewhere around 1999-ish, end of 1999, middle of 2000. I couldn't find the exact date. But while he's in federal prison for stealing a car, right? You know, they chopping it up in the yard or whatever. And somebody tells Quincy that, you know what, you need to be thinking about your career choices for when you get up out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? What you good at, man? And I guess Quincy was trying to figure out what his skill set was, and he came up a little lacking. So they gave him some career advice. Y'all. Why somebody, and who the fuck somebody is, show yourself, name them, because I want to know who the fuck told Quincy that he should consider a career being a mafia hitman. Like, where you apply for that job at? Is that on Indeed? Like, what the fuck? And and it sounds like some shit that somebody would say to you, you know, in jest. This is a joke. Yeah, man, yeah, you could be a hitman. Baby, Quincy took that shit to heart. Y'all, Quincy gets out the feds, right? And this is what he got his mind set on doing. He is going to be a mafia hitman. And I guess you have to aspire to do something, but goddamn, really? Whatever. So there's only one problem in this whole little career pathway that he's laid out for himself. It's the fact that, one, Quincy ain't never shot a gun. Quincy ain't never killed nobody. Like, what the fuck? You can steal a few cars, but hitman got to be able to hit. You know what I'm saying? So Quincy decides that he is going to practice becoming a hitman. What the fuck? I told y'all wasn't going to believe this. But yes, this is what this young man is going to do. He is going to practice becoming a hitman. And so when he gets out of the feds, he goes out and he buys a shotgun. Of course, he gets this motherfucker off the street, right? Because you a convicted felon. You cannot walk up in nobody's gun store and go buy you a gun legally. So he done got him a little hot shotgun, and he begins practicing for this new career that he wants to embark on. Now, July 7th, 2002 is when he first started. And again, he has never shot a gun, much less a shotgun before. So he gonna do a little target practice. He takes 51-year-old James White. Now, Mr. White is unhoused. He doesn't have a house, nowhere to stay. He lives on the street. Now, Mr. White is chilling on a bench in Findlay Park in Columbia, South Carolina. Minding his business, not bothering nobody, just doing what Mr. White want to do. Well, Quincy runs up on Mr. James White, and baby, James must have had a praying grandmother, because he was shot twice with a shotgun and still lived to tell the motherfucking story. Ooh, baby, you had an angel on your back, because it ain't many people who can take 2 shotgun blasts and live to tell the tale. But old James did. But you know, James was an unhoused man, and so when James was shot, the police weren't, I don't think, investigating to their full capabilities. They just thought that it was just a sad coincidence, and, you know, the suspect was on the loose. Well, Quincy is practice makes perfect, right? And so 3 days later, on the 10th, he's back at his practicing. And now we got this 45-year-old woman named Dale Yvonne Hall. Now, mind you, I told you that she's a woman. Dale is also a little on the transient side, shall we say. And she out somewhere near the interstate I-77, also in Columbia. And she unfortunately runs into Quincy, or should I say Quincy runs into her. That same shotgun, he shoots Dale in the head, her face, her leg, and all up in her stomach area. Now, this all goes down on 2 Notch Road. Now, first of all, that's country than a motherfucker. 2 Notch Road. That ain't funny that Dale got shot. The name of the street that she got shot on is funny. Of course, with all that many bullets and fragments or whatever, because I'm assuming it was pellets. Maybe, I don't think it was buckshot. I don't know. But however, she is all shot up and she's no longer communing with us on this side of the living, right? And so after he shoots Dale, he drives, I don't know who car he got, but he done picked up somebody's shit, and he drives down to a truck stop, right? Now, he ain't through with Dale. He go to this goddamn truck stop. He buy some gas. He turn right back around and go back to where he left Dale. Pour gasoline all over her body and then set her ass on fire. Ooh, that's some trifling shit right there. I guess he was trying to figure out how many different ways he could show the mafia on his resume that he could fuck a motherfucker up, right? I told you ain't gonna believe this shit. So then time goes on, and I'm talking about a week or so, and it's August 8th, 2002. And so I don't know what happened at this Texas Roadhouse, but clearly something went the fuck down because Quincy gets into it with an employee at the Texas Roadhouse. Now the employee's name, his name is Brian Marquise. Him and Quincy, they exchanging words. They're in a restaurant, so you got the public around and shit. And so Brian had a friend. His name was Jedediah Hart. They called him Jed. And Jed was like, hey, man, that's my homie that you own, man. You need to chill. You know what I'm saying? It's a public space. We got people around. It was a pregnant woman right there in the mix as well. And they was trying to keep that shit cool and not let this pregnant woman get hurt because Quincy is popping off. Like, he is threatening to shoot everybody at this point. And oh, baby, when Jed jumped in the mix, oh, good practicing ass Quincy, pussy ass, he was like, oh, nigga, you can get some of this smoke too. Baby, tell me why he let loose and took 22-year-old Jedediah Hart completely off the game. Baby, I'm talking about why you done shot this man up. Now, all he was trying to do was be a good Samaritan, a good friend for a friend. And now he is communing with the Lamb of the Lord. And this is not the end of this little situation. Oh, no, honey, because Quincy, he ain't forgot about the original smoke with Brian's ass. Tell me why he chased this man home, literally. Like, how the fuck you got, I want to know, because they didn't go into detail, so I want to know, did he chase him in the car? Was Brian in his car and he was just speeding up the road? Was Brian running, zigzagging? Like, I need to know questions that need answering. But however, whatever, Brian ass run to the house. He get in the house, shut and lock the door, right? He think he through. Oh, no. Quincy ass ain't through. Tell me why Quincy set this man mama porch on fire. It ain't funny. God knows it ain't funny. But it's funny because how I'm threatening to kill you. Fuck you, nigga. Whatever. Quincy, you probably be big and bad. You didn't have the foot strength to kick boy dough in. Not that I'm saying that you should have. I'm just saying you auditioning for the mafia, right? You want to be a hitman. Hitman don't just give up and just set some shit on fire. No, they set people on fire. They put that bullet in the ass that it was meant for. You let Brian get away. Thankfully, I know Brian, you is so happy that you was able to get behind closed doors, and that was enough to stop this crazy throw it off motherfucker from getting at you. But I'm just saying, Quincy, you gonna set this man mama porch on fire, sir? Do better. Little firebug ass nigga. Y'all, I neglected to tell y'all that I did take some Benadryl. So yeah, I'm a little loopy. Just bear with me. Okay, so that went down August 8th, right? The very next day, August 9th, it's still some more shit at the game at this goddamn Texas Roadhouse because Quincy still got smoke. And I don't know how, I don't know what, but somebody else that works at that Texas Roadhouse, Quincy got beef with. And so he doesn't take the beef to the person. He's basically practicing on his fire making skills. You know what I'm saying? So he sets fire to whoever the employee was at the Texas Roadhouse that now he got smoked with. Or maybe it was Brian. I don't know. But he set fire to somebody's car that worked at the Texas Roadhouse. And again, he's practicing, right? So he goes and he set somebody else's car on fire in the parking lot as well. Just some random ass person. Like, what? Again, if I had wrote this in a Melanin Mayhem original story, you'd have been like, Renee, come on now. Can you at least make it believable? Man, that's why the sky is the limit. I can write anything I want because real shit is so much crazier than any of the fictional shit that you could think of. Like, you just out here randomly setting fire to folks shit. Like, what? Where's the police? Where's the fire department? Surely y'all told them that crazy ass nigga Quincy who ran Brian home yesterday, that's the motherfucker who did this shit. I digress because we still got a little bit more to get through. 3 days later, August 12th, now he has shot somebody, he done ran somebody home, he done set fire to a porch, and he done set fire to 2 cars. Now it's time to run up and do a robbery type of situation. So he go up in a Citgo gas station. This is in Dobson, North Carolina, where this is going down. He goes into the gas station and he shoots 2 people, 53-year-old Richard Calvin Hawks and 29-year-old Robert Shane Roosh. Now, at this point, I don't know if Quincy thought, maybe I should just go rest my tired bones. And you would think that a potential hitman would have like a little hideout, a little spot, because, hitman, they do what they do and then they break off and then they put their shit up and then they go home, wherever home may be, and they rest their tired bones. Well, not Quincy. He didn't have no home. And he goes and he is out in the world. And 2 days later, after he did that shooting in North Carolina, he has made his way to Texas. What the fuck was about to go on in Texas, I have no idea. But on August 14th, 2002, they arrest Quincy's ass while he was asleep. They woke that nigga ass up. And guess what he was? Sleeping in an abandoned car in Mitchell County, Texas. Like, that's a long way from North Carolina. Like, he got somewhere in 2 days. God damn, Quincy. And how the fuck did they track him down? But I don't know. But that's real good police work. Bravo. And so when they arrested him, they charged him with pointing a firearm, 3rd-degree arson ×2, assault and battery with intent to kill. I guess that was for chasing Brian's ass home. Then they charged him with 2 counts of 2nd-degree arson as well as 2 counts of murder. Baby. So now Quincy is in jail waiting on his time to get in front of a judge, right? Well, these things take time and they do finally get to court. And of course, when you guilty as fuck, all they want to do is tell the story about how you had such a terrible upbringing. And that's the reason why everybody should have leniency on your throwed off ass. Well, Judge G. Thomas Cooper said he didn't believe the hype. Fuck all that shit. Your upbringing ain't got shit to do with what you doing today. And he sentenced Quincy to take that long sleep, baby. Yes, honey, sentenced that ass to death. Now, in addition, for those charges, the pointing of the firearm, the arson, they gave him 5 years for the firearm, 20 years for the 3rd-degree arson, 20 years for the assault and battery with intent to kill, 25 years for the 2nd-degree arson, and then, of course, that good old you got to get up out of here for the murderations, right? And so now your boy is off to the Lieber Correctional Institution in Ridgefield because that's where they send the death row inmates. This is all going down in 2005, right? And so on death row, they are basically locked down 23 hours a day. They get 1 hour to go outside of their cells, and death row is probably about 30, 40, 50, 60 deep, something like that. And it was not unheard of for them to kind of be able to congregate together. You know what I'm saying? You already segregated and isolated. So I can see letting the death row inmates, maybe 10, 15 at a time, 2 or 3 at a time, however, just not being out there by themselves, right? I get that. And so in these 1 hour outside of the cell times, Quincy made a friend. Yeah, he made a friend on the Green Mile. And this man's name was Mikal Deen Mahdi. Now, Michael's name is spelled M-I-K-A-L. I be wanting to say mystical every time I see it because mystical will spell K-A-L like that. But so not the point. He made a friend. His name was Michael. And I got to tell you about Michael because he a boogabout too. That's what I was talking about, how this story kind of took a detour because it was literally only going to be about Quincy. But they did some shit together that I just had to be like, you know what? We got to include Michael in this shit too, because when I look Michael up, like I said, this nigga was a boogabout too. I can't. Okay, so Mikal Deen Mahdi was born March 20th, 1983 in Lawrenceville, Virginia. Now, his daddy's name was Sharif. That wasn't his name at birth. He converted to Islam at some point in his life, and he was a little thrown off as well. And I don't know who Michael's mama was, but I know that she was 16 when she had an arranged marriage with Michael's daddy. Now, I try not to judge folks.
Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Here's a little tune to help you remember. Same drive, different day. Don't you wish you were getting away? Pack your bags and come on through. Texas, Ohio, Alaska, we're up there too. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Well, I hope you like my little song. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man, an 8-episode series, now streaming on Disney+.
A superhero remake, not exactly what we'd expect from an Oscar-winning director.
Action! Simon Williams, audition for Wonder Man.
I'm gonna need you to sign this, assuming you don't have superpowers.
I'll never work again if anyone found out.
My lips are sealed.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man. All 8 episodes now streaming, only on Disney+.
Religious practices, but, you know, I'm on that. If they like it, I'm going to pretend not to throw side eye, but I'm just saying he was a big old 20-something years old, Michael's daddy, when he married this 16-year-old girl. And, of course, it was an arranged marriage, so she had her parents' permission, but, 16, baby. That's crazy. That's an 11-year difference in their age. Like, this is a literal child bride. What the fuck and who the fuck? But anywho, the child bride, she goes on and pops out 2 kids, one of which is Mikal Deen Mahdi. And apparently she throwed the deuces to all their asses when Michael was 3. I wonder why, because she done finally grown up and realized this some bullshit. That's would have been me, but you know, I don't know. However, whatever, mama is out the picture. So now his daddy, Sharif, is raising his 2 boys. And I use that word very, very lightly because Michael's home life was some bullshit. I mean, his daddy was a legal chomo that liked to square up on the popo. And we're going to find out that the apple didn't fall too far from the motherfucking tree. And so his daddy was in the house. That's about it. These boys were being raised feral, you know. And so he sent them off to live with relatives, and Michael was sent to live with his auntie Nim when he was 8 in Maryland. And this is what I find amazing. Well, one of the things I find amazing about Michael is that when he goes to Maryland, shit don't work out. I mean, he got all kind of emotional issues and issues with authority. Like, he just throw the fuck off, right? And then what amazes me the most is that they say that this little nigga dropped out of school in the 3rd grade. How the fuck does one do that? Like, 3rd grade? Like, what? My children couldn't even tell me they was sick to even not go to school for one day, much less tell me I'm done. Yeah, I'm through. Them ABCs is fucking with me. I can't even fuck with them. Long division, I ain't fucking with this shit. My mama, what? Again, life is so much stranger than fiction. But that's what Michael did. He drops out of school, right? Well, word on the curb is that Minnie Michael's cheese had done slid all the way off his crackle around the same time, and he was committed to the psych ward somewhere around August of 1992 because Michael said he ain't want to be here no more. Damn. At like 9 years old, his life had been so fucked up that he was just, I'd rather go on and be with the king. Whew, honey, that just gives you some type of inclination as to the trauma this little boy was experiencing. And again, I don't excuse childhood trauma for adult bad behaviors, but I'm just saying there was some shit going on both in Quincy's life as well as Mikal's life. Well, Mikal stayed with the therapeutic approach for about 3 months. And when he got out, he didn't go back to his auntie Nim house in Maryland. He goes back to stay with his pops, right? Crazy ass Sharif. And we already know what kind of time Pops was on, and it wasn't long before them apples landed right next to the tree. Yeah, Mikal into grand larceny and all other mannerisms of sticky fingeredness, right? And he just in and out of juvie, in and out of juvie, in and out of juvie. And a lot of his juvenile arrests, they showed him as being in solitary confinement. And I think anytime you're locked up, first and foremost, that's bad. But to be locked up and to not have human contact, I think that makes a monster. And then if you're going to let this person back out on the street, I think you've created more of a problem than the one that you were originally trying to solve. Solitary confinement ain't good for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Humans need other humans around. We need human interaction. And so for this boy with, all of these things he's gone through as a child, excuse me, I just think that solitary confinement just exacerbated the situation. Well, it was 1998. He's about 15 years old. And this little corrupted crash out, he ends up having a 9-hour standoff with the popos. And all he talking about is how he gonna kill a cop before he leave this world. He gonna take one out. He gonna take one out. That's like what he is striving for in life, right? Just like his daddy like to fuck with the goddamn police, right? And in 2001, he tried to make good on that promise. He attacked a cop in Virginia. And so, they don't take too kindly to you fucking with the popo like that. You know what I'm saying? They take that shit to heart. And so they put that ass in time out. They gave him 93 months to think about the error of his ways. And he was thinking about something during them 93 months. It just wasn't the era of his ways. It was about what the fuck he was going to do when he got out. And he got out in May of 2004, for that little aggravated assault shenanigery with that cop. And less than 60 days later, back on the bullshit. It's going to start with Mikal's story at his house in Virginia. Now, New Nation, it all started with a drug deal gone sideways. There was a dude named Greg Jones. He was meeting up with Mikal down the street from Mikal's house, right? And instead of them exchanging some dope and some money, Mikal ended up jugging Greg all the way up, and Greg wake up in the upper room. But drug deal gone bad, police come, whatever. This is now another unsolved murder. Not mystery, murder. And so this begins the spiral of Mikal. The next day or two, we find ourselves is July 14th, 2004. He steals a 380 from his neighbor. Then he goes and takes somebody's license plate off their car. Just pops it in his book bag. And then he borrows a station wagon without consent. And then he starts road tripping on his road trip of all road trips to crash the fuck out. So he did all of this on the 14th of July. The very next day, on the 15th, he walks into a Exxon gas station in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He got that 3.8 on, and he's intending on wilding out. But it don't look like it when he first walk in the store. He walk in like a normal customer, right? He go to the refrigerated section, he grab a can of beer out, and then he go to the counter. Everything sounds normal, right? Well, the clerk's name is Christopher Boggs. Christopher says, "Can I see your ID?" And we know if you buy alcohol in any store, if you don't look like you like Methuselah age, they're going to ask you for that ID, right? We need to make sure you're 21. Ain't nobody trying to lose their liquor license, right? So he's like, "Sir, can I see your ID?" "Baby, tell me why Mikal pulled out that 380 and shoot the shit out the goddamn man just for trying to do his job." I'm talking about point blank range. And then he walks around the counter and shoots Christopher again. Now, he trying to turn this murderation into a robbery, right? He trying to get the money out the cash register, but for whatever reason, he don't know how to make the cash drawer open. Couldn't get that motherfucker to pop. So he just leaves. He grabs that can of beer and he just leave. He don't take nothing else, just that can of beer. Nigga, what? Like, what? Yeah, I told y'all. Well, this is just the beginning of his crash out. 2 days later, on the 17th, I don't know what has happened with the station wagon, but he needs a new set of wheels. And this reminded me of a scene out of, what was it? Menace to Society, yeah. So this dude named Corey Pitts. Corey is in his expedition, sitting at a red light, waiting on it to turn green in Columbia, South Carolina, right? Tell me why Michael pulled that 380 out, put that motherfucker up to goddamn Corey's head and tell him to take the bus. Baby, he then take that license plate. You remember the one that he took when he was back home in Virginia? He takes that license plate that he lifted in Virginia, puts it on Corey's truck, and then he ride out into the sunset, right? But that nigga ain't through. Because Expedition, that's a pretty big car. And I don't know what Corey was riding on, you know what I'm saying? But at some point, Michael needs some gas. And I don't guess he had no money on him. But in going through Corey's car, he finds a credit card in the truck, right? So he pull up at this little gas station, right? And he gonna pay at the pump. But there's a problem. The card that he's trying to use, it keeps being declined. And this nigga, Michael, he definitely not to show up his knife in the drawer. Because, New Nation, this motherfucker spend the next 45 minutes to an hour trying to make this stolen credit card work. Decline, 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 decline. You just swiping and tapping and swiping and tapping. Nigga, you just stole Corey's car. You ain't think that he might have reported his shit stolen? Like, he know what he got in his car. He knew his visa was in there. He was on the phone with Visa as soon as you got them rolled out. And you, after the first decline, after the third decline, okay, after the fifth decline, that didn't cross your mind. You literally stood at these folk gas pump for 45 minutes to an hour just swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping. Man. Oh, my Jesus. Well, the clerk sees his ass out here doing all this goddamn swiping, and the shit looks suspicious. So what the clerk do? Call 12. So Michael sees the clerk looking out the window, looking at him, looking stupid, right? And so I guess he realized, oh, the gig is up. Let me get the fuck up out of here because clearly the police finna be on their way over here. And so he hot foot off from the gas station through the woods. Now, black man walking through the woods. Bruh, where you going? He didn't know. Well, what he does know is that he needs a new set of wheels. And so when he comes out the woods, he sees a farm. And so the farm has these little outbuildings on it. And one of the buildings he breaks into. And he goes in and makes himself comfortable, y'all. I'm talking this nigga watching TV and shit, just familiarizing himself with these people's shit. Now, these people who shit he in, these people's is law enforcement. Yeah, he is at the home of Captain James Myers. Captain James Myers is married. Mrs. Myers is also law enforcement. So this is a law enforcement home. And as such, you know, they got some shit up in there. And so he all up in these folks' shit. And Captain Myers, he got an arsenal up in that bitch. This particular building where Michael has broken into, this is where all the pew-pews is kept. And so Michael sees a shotgun that catches his attention. And he like it, but he don't like the barrel on the shotgun. So he looking around the shop, whatever, and he finds a saw. And so then he proceeds to saw the barrel of the shotgun off. Sir, he even painted that motherfucker black. Like, how you looking through these folks shit and I found the black paint and everything? Just make yourself at home, sir. You want some Kool-Aid? You good? Like, what the fuck? Now, Captain Myers, He off living and loving, just doing what he's supposed to be doing in his life. I think they said he was at the beach. It was some people's birthdays in his family. You know, he living and loving. So he been gone all day into the evening, right? And so when he comes home, he runs into his uninvited house guest, right? He confronts this stranger in his outbuilding. Baby, y'all tell me why this trifling motherfucker shot the shit out of Captain Myers. Shot that man 9 goddamn times with that goddamn rifle. What the fuck? I mean, 9 times, at least 3 times in his head. Sir, do better. And then I don't know if he was channeling something from someone else that we just got to talking about, because he did some Quincy shit, even though at this point in time he didn't know Quincy. Captain Myers, apparently in this outbuilding, this is a farm, he goes and he finds some gas, some diesel, whatever, something that can burn some shit, right? He takes that gas and he pours it all over Captain Myers, the man who he just shot 9 times. This man is clearly gone on to be with the king. It wasn't enough to just shoot the shit out of Captain Myers. Oh, no, he got to turn Captain Myers into a motherfucking bonfire. Sir. Like, that's just, that's too much. It's overkill. It's overkill. You doing too much. You got too much dip on your chip right now, Michael. Doing too much. Baby. And so, if that wasn't enough, after shooting Captain Myers, burning Captain Myers, then he stole his truck. Now, this truck that he steals is also full of pew-pews and ammunition. So, by that evening, Mrs. Myers looking for her husband, you know what I'm saying? It getting late. I know he came home earlier. What the fuck he at? She, jumping her shit and riding the farm, and she see, I guess, either the door was open or something, but she investigates this little outbuilding, and that's where she finds her husband. She raises the alarm. Somebody done fucked my husband up. And so now the manhunt is on. This shit went on for like 4 days because they know that he's killed Captain Myers. They got fingerprints. They got all this shit, right? So they know who they looking for. They just don't know where the fuck Michael at, right? Baby, this nigga ends up in Satellite Beach, Florida. Now, that's right outside Cape Canaveral. If y'all like to cruise, you know what Cape Canaveral is. That's also where they do the shuttle launches. Yeah, Cape Canaveral, Florida. This is right outside Satellite Beach. And so they roll up on Michael, and they've got him cornered. And it looked like it's about to be a scene from Set It Off, and Michael playing Tifa. Y'all. Again, not funny, but it's funny. Get it together now. Get it together. Michael, again, is cornered. Look like he's about to set it off. He pop out the truck holding this big ass rifle. Like, it's huge, and it's in his hands. Now, in some rare Flower Rangers behavior, they did not fill his ass up with bullets like they did Cleo. They didn't do it. And Michael, he didn't have no more gangster left in his ass neither. Tell me why this motherfucker dropped the rifle and take off running. Sir, in my mind's eye, I see your pussy ass running down the street. Sir, take these goddamn shootout bullets like a man. Sit here and try to set it off. What the fuck is you doing? We is not finna run after your ass. What the hell is going on here? Like, what the fuck? It doesn't make sense. You were not supposed to go out like this. I just don't understand it. And apparently the nigga must have been fast too, because they say it took him like 20 minutes to hawk his ass down. Like, what the fuck do we have here? I don't get it. Well, either way they go, 20 minutes later, they got Michael's ass in custody, right? And so they send him back to South Carolina. And now South Carolina, they indict him for 2nd-degree burglary, grand larceny, and murder. And with that murder charge, they let him know we got a disconnect notice for your ass, right? And this was for Captain Myers. And so when it finally went to court for Captain Myers, and these things take a little time, but they knew all of the stuff that Michael had done in all of the various cities, right? And so his first trial is in South Carolina, because South Carolina has let it be known that, you know what, nigga, we cutting your water off. If we can convict your ass, that's it for you. You through dealing, right? And so when they finally do go to court, the defense was like, yeah, he did it, but ain't no but. They ain't know what the but. He had a fucked up childhood, so y'all shouldn't kill him. Just lock him up and throw away the key. The prosecution was like, nah, this nigga foul and ain't nothing but hate and malice in his heart. Because remember, he been saying since he was a teenager that he ain't had but one goal in life, and that was to take out a cop. He tried it once before and got some aggravated assault off his chest, and now he has actually gone through and fulfilled on that promise. So we gonna make good on our promise and cut his motherfucking water off. And that's exactly what South Carolina did. They convicted that ass. December 8th, 2006, Judge Clifton Newman sentenced him to death. You can't stay here no longer. You got to go. And so this is where Mikal Mahdi makes history. He is the youngest person to be sentenced to death in South Carolina. Congratulations, Mikal. I'm sure your daddy is so proud. Whew, child. Well, North Carolina said, you know what? We want to get our lick back too. They had charged him with Christopher Boggs' murder. You remember the gas station attendant? They charged him with murder and theft because he stole that bill. That was back in 2004 when they first caught him. And so after South Carolina finished with him, they sent him up to North Carolina to go to trial for Christopher's murder, right? They ended up giving him a life sentence for that shit because, they were like, South Carolina already gonna unalive him. Can't die but one time, you know what I'm saying? So we fine. We good. You just take this little life sentence. If for whatever reason they can't take you out the game, we got you for life as well. And so they sent him back to South Carolina to get on with that little disconnection business. And remember, I told y'all that he had also did a killation in Virginia of Greg Jones, the drug dealer, right? And Virginia was like, it was a drug dealer, the war on drugs. We just gonna let this shit slide. We got some other shit to do with our money to be putting this nigga on trial. South Carolina gonna already take care of business, you know what I'm saying? North Carolina done already gave him a life sentence. So, we don't really need to get into this shit. You can't kill a motherfucker but one time. So we just gonna let that one time go for all of the shits. Okay. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? But okay. And so this is how Quincy and Mikal end up meeting and becoming friends. They on death row together in South Carolina. 2 crash outs waiting to get cashed out. So, they doing death row together, whatever. And, with death penalty cases, the appeals process is automatic, right? Well, they rejected Quincy's final appeal at getting the disconnection thrown out. This all went down November 16th, 2009. We done with you, nigga. We said no. We killing your ass. And so I guess Quincy might have been in his feelings a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he had no more fucks to give. So I'm thinking that the thought process was what do we got to lose? Let's crash out on the Green Mile. I mean, what you gonna do? Kill me? That's what you're planning on doing anyway, right? And so a plan was hatched. Again, some total bullshit. Now, I told you the final appeal for Quincy was denied November 16th. About 3 weeks later, on December 2nd, 2009, here go with some more bullshit go down, right? Now, you remember I told you they get that 1 hour out the cell, right? And on this particular day, December 2nd, they outside and they ask one of the COs, this particular CO, his name is Nathan Sasser. They ask CO Nathan, hey, can we play basketball? We want to shoot a few hoops. Is that all right? And Nathan Sasser was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And so he goes and does what he do. Escorts them to the basketball court, get the ball out of whatever. I don't know if he turned his back. I don't know if he was trying to get the ball out. I don't know how it happened, but Quincy and Mikal jumped the CO. Baby, and not only did they jump him, they had a shank and they juked him up good. So the CO is down. Now, this is a prison, so it's not like Officer Sasser was the only CO around. Other COs and prison officials see what's going on, and they raise the alarm. Cause these niggas out here trying to jump the fence.
There's a reason they say snap judgment changed the sound of storytelling. The stories, the music, the voice in the dark, heard on NPR stations across the country. Time called it one of the best 100 podcasts ever. The kind of stories you can't wait to tell somebody. Snap Judgment from KQED. Tap to listen now to Snap Judgment from KQED on Spotify.
Even if you're using topical prescription creams for your child's eczema, you still might be hearing this. That relentless itching that makes them want to scratch and scratch and scratch and scratch. When their moderate to severe eczema isn't well controlled, it's time to ask about Dupixent, dupilumab, which isn't a cream, steroid, or immunosuppressant. Dupixent helps kids as young as 6 months stay ahead of their eczema with clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Severe allergic reactions, including skin reactions, can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Dupixent helps your child feel the heal. Ask your child's eczema specialist. Visit Dupixent.com or call 1-844-DUPIXENT.
Where y'all thought y'all were gonna go? Like, I'm so confused. What? Like, they got guards out here. They see you. Wait, you should have tried some Andy Dufresne type shit and went out through the shit tube. You know what I'm saying? Through the fence. That's like the last way that you can literally get out. I mean, you can go out through the fence if they open the gate for your ass. But other than that, I have yet to hear of a successful prison break over the fence. But you know, again, these is not the sharpest knives in the drawer. And together, that's just two dumbass motherfuckers out here doing dumb shit, right? Well, the other officers from death row, they come running and they trying to tear gas them. And these little throwed off motherfuckers, the goddamn tear gas ain't having no effect. They still got smoke, right? So then here come the rubber bullets. You could say a lot of shit, but you get hit with a rubber bullet, it's my understanding that shit hurt. Like hurt. And so they got the rubber bullets out and they end up subduing they end up subduing Quincy and Mikal. And so what can you do to a motherfucker that's already on death row? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you do? They just pulled what they could. So, you know, that 1 hour of free time, they pulled that. No visitations. You can't talk on the phone. You can't go to get no commissary. You know what I'm saying? That was all that they could take from them, right? It was just a whole bunch of sit your ass down while you wait on us to put your ass down permanently. Because that's all you can do. They're already scheduled to die. Well, Quincy had been scheduled to be executed January 8th, 2010. Now, remember, they jugged up the CO December 2009. So I guess Quincy was like, shit, next month it for me. So I'm finna do everything I can. Well, here's the gotcha. South Carolina, they did have the death penalty. But at this point in time, when all of this is going on, for the previous 13, 14 years or so, the state had an issue with their supply of the lethal injection drugs. And so what drugs they had on hand, they were expired. And the pharmacy that supplied them with the drugs, they didn't want to have no parts of it if they couldn't do it anonymously. And at the time, whoever gave you the drugs, that shit was public record, right? And so, you know, people who were against the death penalty, they had smoke with the pharmacy. And so the pharmacy was like, look, we don't want no parts of this shit. You fucking up the church's money. Until you can get this shit rectified, you just gonna have to figure out something else. So while they had plenty of people on death row, they really wasn't killing nobody like that because they didn't have the drugs to do the killing, right? So in this particular situation with Quincy, right after he got sentenced, his attorneys, they filed all kinds of motions to try to get the verdict thrown out, put on pause, whatever they could do. And at first, the South Carolina Supreme Court, they went with that shit. Only because, again, they knew what kind of problems they already had with the lethal injection drugs, right? And so at first, Quincy's death sentence, it was overturned by the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals on July 26th of 2022. So he been holding on for some time because they still ain't got this shit together with these lethal injection drugs, right? And so after his death sentence was overturned, he accepted a plea deal so that he would get life in prison without the possibility of parole in exchange for him waiving any appeal to his sentence. Like, we won't kill you. We'll let you sit for the rest of your life behind bars as long as you don't try to fight the shit. That's basically what it came down to, right? And again, part of the reason it went down like that also was because in Quincy's trial, they say that the judge didn't take into account the fucked upness of his childhood. Whatever. And then again, because of those little issues they were having by getting the necessaries to disconnect the motherfucker, right? And so in trying to take care of all of this death row shenanigery, the state passed the shield law, right? That means that whoever gives us the drugs, we can shield your name. We don't have to tell nobody. It's not public record no more, right? And then they changed the lethal injection method to one particular drug. And then they got that drug, right? But then the legislation was like, you know what? I think we can do better. If we having problems getting the drugs, let's find some more ways to kill a motherfucker. So then they brought back the firing squad. So now you got lethal injection, the electric chair, or the firing squad. Okay. But then, of course, the people who were against death penalty, they came out and was challenging all that because they said that the death penalty being carried out by a firing squad or the electric chair, that was cruel and unusual. And I'm sorry, the people who are normally getting these types of punishments, they did some cruel and unusual shit. So, hey, one good turn deserves another. I'm just saying, when we got irrefutable proof that it was you who did the necessary, then we need to be able to do the necessary too. Eye for an eye. I'm just saying. Now, I know no innocent people should ever be put to death, but if we got irrefutable proof, like it ain't no innuendo, it ain't based solely off of eyewitness testimony, we got DNA, we got fingerprints, we got video, that was you type shit, man, get the fuck up out of here. I told y'all the Lord's still working on me. But anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So, with all this stuff going on with the legislature in South Carolina, carrying out death sentences was a thing. So they was like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to commute everybody's death sentence to life without parole. But South Carolina was like, wait a minute, wait. Some of these motherfuckers need to be killed. Like, come on, man. Don't do us like that. And so the legislature went to work to try to find some loopholes. Well, Quincy by this time was off the hook as far as getting disconnected. And so when he went and got his resentencing done, he did have a word for the peoples. And he said, you know, after years of reflection, I have come to understand how my background and my upbringing did not prepare me to navigate conflicts or handle stressful situations. Nigga, you think? That's the understatement of the motherfucking year. But okay, nigga, you got that off your chest. Now go sit down and go do your life. So let's get back to Michael, right? Because Michael, he too had his appeals and they too were all denied. And he was subjected to the same issues that Quincy was because they on death row together. So they couldn't get no drugs for Quincy. They shouldn't be able to get no drugs for Michael, right? Well, like I said, the state was like, hey, man, some of these motherfuckers really need to goddamn be put down. And unlike Quincy, Michael had killed a cop, and they was not going to let that shit slide. Not you, nigga. And so while they were commuting other death row inmates, because, you know, again, they didn't have what they needed, the state got a special court order that said, you know what? I know it's hard, and I know y'all got a hard on for some of them, so here what we're going to do. You can disconnect 6 motherfuckers out of all the motherfuckers on death row. 6. 5, 6. 6. Guess who was included in the number? Yes, honey, Michael's murdering ass. Nigga, they gave us 6. You definitely one of them. And it took a while. They had a couple of setbacks. But they finally got around to pruning Michael's tree. And, you know, again, I told y'all the main issue was getting the drugs that make a motherfucker go night-night forever. And while they still had that problem, they had the workaround. Let's give a motherfucker that we gonna disconnect. We gonna let them choose how they want to be disconnected. You got the electric chair. You got lethal injection that might be done with some questionable drugs that might be expired. They might work, they might not. Or you can go with the motherfucking firing squad. Hey, Michael, we heard you like bullets and pew-pews. I'm just saying. Well, on March 28th, 2025, that was just last year, Michael chose pew-pews. All right, Michael, might as well. You live by the sword, you might as well die by the sword. I'm just saying. For his final meal, he had a ribeye steak, cooked medium, mushroom risotto, broccoli, collard greens, cheesecake, and sweet tea. That's a fine meal. If that's going to be the last one you're going to have, I don't think you was missing with some cornbread to go with them collard greens, but I'm just saying that's the country in me. Well, on April 11th, 2025, again, this was just last year, they did indeed shoot the shit out of 42-year-old Mikal Deen Mahdi at 6:01 p.m. Baby, he was communing with Lucifer by 6:05. And interestingly enough, I thought it was like in the movies where, you know, they put 762 bullets in your ass. But no, they shot at him 3 times and only 2 of the bullets made contact. Now, what I want to know is who the fuck on the firing squad can't shoot? Because if you ain't got but 3 bullets, all 3 of them motherfuckers should have hit. I'm just saying, y'all. Anyway, so Quincy is out here pouring out a little water for his homie, but he's still on his bullshit. But, you know, at least he ain't gonna get his TV turned off, right? Quincy Allen is inmate number 00394-697 at the Perry Correctional Institution in Greenville County, South Carolina. And that new ornation is the story of Quincy Allen and his death row homie, Mikal Deen Mahdi. Ooh, child, I told y'all wasn't gonna believe this shit. Just what? Just no killing is justified. Like, well, I take that back. Some killings are justified, but I'm just saying senseless killings are just senseless, period, point blank. Nobody should lose their life. But the crash out that these 2 motherfuckers crashed out, like, what in the entire fuck? Like, it's really some glitching motherfuckers amongst us. I'm speechless, y'all, because I don't know of anything that could have been done short of different parentage. I mean, both of them seem to have had fucked up childhoods, but we all know a whole lot of people that have had a fucked up childhood that don't crash the fuck out on innocent people. Like, I don't know. They got what they deserved. I still think Quincy Pussy ass should have been right out there beside Michael, catching bullets with his body too. Cause you killed a lot of people senselessly. You wanted to be a mafia hitman? Like, I am speechless over that. That you really thought that was going to be a career path. Like, I would like to know. I told y'all I'm not going to do the interviews with these Melanin Mayhem makers. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to platform them being able to espouse any of that bullshit rhetoric that they done came up with since they've been locked down. It's just not my lane. But I would really like to know, if I could ask this motherfucker one question, how the fuck was you going to go about auditioning for the motherfucking mafia? Like, was you going to go up there with a resume and be like, I killed this one over here, and then I set this one on fire, and I set this porch on fire? You can show, what the fuck? Like, I don't get it. You didn't even have money for a hotel room. Like, how the fuck? If ever 2 specimens should have ever been swallowed, skeeted on the floor, flushed down the toilet, it was these 2 glitching motherfuckers. Just, Michael I'm looking down at you. I hope you looking up at me talking shit about your punk ass. I hope you got a seat right there by the fire, bro. Because, again, didn't make no sense. You just overkill, setting people on fire just senselessly. That just does not make sense. I'm gonna have to look at some more World Cup videos to help lighten my mood, because this shit here it just doesn't make any sense. That's all I got for you today, New Orleans Nation. It just don't make no sense. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this. I can't wait to hear your reactions to these two. You know how to get in contact with me. I am Melanin Mayhem Podcast on all of the social medias except for X. And I even think I do have that domain name over there. I just don't know what the fuck I did with it. But over on X, I am Melanin Mayhem PC. Also, if email is more your ministry, and you know I love to get a good old email, you can hit me up at melaninmayhempodcast@gmail.com. So, for today's New Orleans Nation shout out, who do we have to shout out today, Nay? Let me see. Let's see. We are going to shout out Love Me Jones. Love Me Jones left a review on Spotify. Thank you, boo. You know I love them Spotifys. Love Me Jones said, sis, this podcast is the shiznit. I love that. One of my faves. I don't even know how I found you, but I think I'm just about caught up on all episodes. These stories be so wild. Sometimes I be clutching my pearls. I be at work just cackling. I love that you don't bite your tongue when describing and talking about these murderers that be murdering and them killers that be killing. I be feeling like I'm on the phone with one of my friends talking about true crime shows. Keep the episodes coming, sis. Oh, Love Me Jones, I love you, boo. And I promise you, if you keep listening, baby, I'm going to keep talking, because this is my therapy, y'all. I be telling y'all, I be going through it, man. But this time that I can sit and just talk to y'all and just be my authentic country as a bowl of grit self, I enjoy it so much. And I am so thankful. I tell y'all this all the time, but I am so damn thankful about y'all. Baby, y'all make my heart just almost explode. I read every comment, every message, every post, every email, everything y'all send me, the DMs, man, I be on them. And y'all know, because I be responding. Keep it coming. I appreciate it so much. I'm so glad I can help y'all make it through the workday, because, honey, it be hard out here sometimes. And we all know it's hard out here for a pimp, right? I don't know no other way but to be real. I'm going to be me. I'm going to talk my shit because I'm with my peoples. And I know the New Orleans Nation got my back, honey. So don't fuck with the country girl. Anyway, Love Me Jones, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to the country girl and to leave me a sweet, sweet 5-star review on Spotify. That's all I got. It's like 2:45-ish in the morning, and it's Wednesday morning, so I have a few more hours before this is going to be posted. I don't have much to do as far as editing, because y'all make it so easy for me to do this thing now. I'm trying to get more into freestyling, because my goal, I really want like a radio show or something. I don't know. I think my dream job would be at the radio. Not that I want another job, but I just like talking on the mic and talking to my people and spreading the word. And I think we have so much more that we can talk about. So I've been practicing less scripting because, you know, the Virgo in me, I like to get everything out and polished it and whatever. But now I'm just kind of freeballing. And I gotta say, I'm liking this. My peoples, my New Orleans Nation, our visitors, our friends, y'all keep spreading the word. Tell everybody that you know about Melanin Mayhem Podcast. Like, subscribe, and share. Don't keep it a secret, honey. Y'all be free. I need y'all to be polygamous with this podcast, okay? Give it to everybody. Okay, the Benadryl is definitely kicking in, and I don't know what's in this tea that I'm drinking. I just grabbed a random tea bag. That might not have been the smartest thing to do. So let me go on ahead and quit while I'm ahead before I say some real bullshit on here. But y'all know, before we close the doors, we have to tell y'all this. Please stay safe out here in these streets. Please stay ever vigilant. And remember this, if you don't remember nothing else, honey, because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I'm going to go and watch me some more World Cup people living and loving these American cultural ways that we do here. And I am going to be back in a week, New Orleans Nation, with another tale of fuckery and foolishness on Melanin Mayhem Podcast. I love you for listening, but your girl got to get up out of here. Mwah.
Woo-wee, Nana, you did that.